Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Beginning in national news, now the deadliest aviation disaster in almost a quarter of a century. All 67 people on board an American Airlines regional jet and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter that collided midair on Wednesday are presumed dead. It's left communities grieving, and we're learning more about the victims. Meanwhile, the NTSB and first responders continue to look for evidence and answers. Michael Yoshida has the latest.
Ian was just a ball of vibrant, colorful energy. Ian definitely was the greatest example, one of the greatest examples of appreciation of loving his job, loving people.
Friends and families are remembering those who tragically lost their lives in the midair collision over the Potomac River Wednesday night. From those who are insured with transporting others safely.
My dad helped him go to flight school, and then he worked really hard on that. He loved what he did.
To legendary skaters who dedicated their lives to a sport they loved.
We lost parents. They were like parents to the rink.
In total, 67 people were killed when an American Airlines flight from Wichita, Kansas, and an Army helicopter on a training mission collided over Washington, D.C. before crashing into the river below. Officials say there are no survivors. Douglas Lane was watching his son and wife's flight back from a youth figure skating development camp when he saw the news.
It just said small plane in the Potomac, and I was just like, oh my God, and my heart just started exploding out of my chest.
The National Transportation and Safety Board, which is leading the investigation into the disaster, says both the plane's flight data and voice recorders, known as black boxes from the plane, have been found, hoping to get answers as to why this tragedy happened.
Our intention is to have a preliminary report within 30 days.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
Closer to home, firefighters in southeast Nebraska were on the scene of an early morning house fire Friday. Beatrice Fire sent to a two-story brick home on North 5th Street at about 1:20 Friday morning. The owners of the home were escaping the house as firefighters were en route. Arriving personnel said they saw smoke and discovered the fire originating in the basement of the home. Personnel said they also noticed some electrical arcing in the area of the fire. Power was then shut off to the home. Firefighters could also be seen rescuing two cats from the home, one of which was being resuscitated with oxygen. No word yet on a cause. A Lincoln teen convicted of fatally stabbing her father more than 2 years ago headed to prison for decades. A Lancaster County judge sentenced 18-year-old Sally Gilmer to 40 to 60 years in prison for second-degree murder. Gilmer pled guilty back in November. Police say Gilmer was just 15 when she was arrested, along with her then boyfriend, Isaac Honigschmidt. Gilmer's father, 70-year-old Jesse Gilmer, was found in an apartment, stabbed to death. Honigschmidt set to be sentenced in February after pleading no contest to aiding and abetting and witness tampering earlier this month. This month, Doane University broke ground on a space that will serve as the new home of the school's fine arts program, a $23 million project that serves as an investment in the value the school believes a fine arts education can provide. Tim Hackett has more.
The sights and sounds of construction drift through the campus of Doane University, where less than 2 weeks ago, this lot was the site of a groundbreaking ceremony marking the start of work on the school's new Performing Arts Center. A $23 million project, it will encompass the construction of new spaces for the theater department while expanding existing facilities for the school's other fine arts programs, which have long been essential elements of the university's offerings.
Here at Doane, we've always focused on the student experience, and we want to have the best student experience that we can. That means the best faculty, the best facilities, and this is part of having the best facilities we can have. There have been other schools in the state who have put money into buildings, and they've seen an increase in enrollment, and so certainly we feel that same thing could happen here once we get the facilities to draw the students. We've already gotten the great faculty. We have a theater department who's won Kennedy Awards, which are national awards for things, so we want to become the place where the fine arts students want to come.
The investment that's being made in our day-to-day spaces, our rehearsal spaces, our classroom environments is really going to impact the way a typical Doane Performing Arts students goes about their day, and the way they make music here at the university is just going to be truly profound.
This project has been in the pipeline for more than a decade, and now it's finally coming to fruition. Expected to be completed in mid-2026, The plans include renovations of existing fine arts spaces, such as Heckman Auditorium, and expansions of classrooms and rehearsal spaces for the band and choir programs. The theater program has lived in a different building on campus, but now it will be housed in the same space as the other fine arts programs. And the space will feature a new multi-form theater able to host different kinds of performances and events.
The challenges that we face in our current space basically come from the idea that it's a space that was designed for something else and turned into a theater, and the new space, the multi-form, is specifically from the beginning planned out as a theater space with all the new bells and whistles, safety features, and equipment to make producing theater and learning just really a lot easier.
With the early stages of this renovation process now underway, soon the sights and sounds of construction will be replaced by sounds that reflect Doan's dedication to the reinforcement of its fine arts program. Reporting in Crete, Tim Hackett, News Channel, Nebraska.
Rural residents in southeast Nebraska could be getting some expanded broadband internet access soon. The money for the planned expansion in York County coming from federal broadband grants. An internet service provider told the York County Commissioners this week that the Nebraska Broadband Office identified the county as having multiple areas in need of broadband coverage. An exact timeline for the projects to begin weren't given, but the company said they expect them to take place quickly. Police are best known for responding to crime and traffic issues, but their duties are much more diverse. Michael Shively tells us how 3 officers helped create a positive outcome from a medical call.
This grocery store in Kearney was nearly the scene of a tragic moment months ago. A customer suffered cardiac arrest while shopping. The man in his 50s lay on the store's floor, not breathing. That's when Kearney police officers and Good Samaritan EMS stepped in. Thanks to their efforts, the man survived and is walking around today.
In recognition of your actions on May 13, 2024, during an emergency situation which resulted in the saving of a human life.
At Tuesday's City Council meeting, Chief Brian Waugh presented the Kearney Police Life Saving Award to officers Derek Hosick, C.J. Hughes, and Dave Humphrey.
Number 1, swift, decisive action by police officers acting on their training, acting on their experience, using their equipment that they are provided.
Hosick was the initial first responder on the scene. Bystanders were performing CPR, and he promptly took over.
A little hectic, just making sure that we're providing good CPR, first aid, and helping those that decided to step in before we were able to get there.
Hughes and Humphrey arrived shortly after.
I think I started out doing chest compressions, and then eventually we all kind of did a little bit of everything.
A big reason there's 3 of us here today, and it's because it does take teamwork. Unfortunately, it's not like TV where one person can just run in and make things happen. It takes a lot of teamwork and coordination and luck.
In total, the officers guessed they were on the scene for 10 minutes. Hughes then drove the ambulance to the hospital while paramedics tended to the patient, who soon started to breathe on his own. The patient later paid the police department a visit.
So he had stopped back in. I was able to shake his hand, and that was the first time I had met him outside of that incident, so it was nice to talk to him.
The police officer stressed that new equipment added to their arsenal in recent years has helped in these situations. Specifically, they say AEDs and breathing bags have provided a big boost to their life-saving efforts. In Kearney, Michael Shively, News Channel, Nebraska.
And finally, Valentine's Day spending set to hit record highs this year. That's according to the National Retail Federation. But one Nebraska town, love isn't just in the air. It's in the mail and on Main Street, and even falling from the sky. Casey Wannenberg takes us now to Valentine, Nebraska.
From heart-shaped bike racks to signs at businesses, Valentine is a city of love year-round.
We go straight from Christmas into Valentine's Day.
But on February 14th, love is especially in the air.
We have the new cards.
This is Valentine's official card for the 2025 holiday.
We get calls from all over the country.
Which is on sale here at the Valentine Visitor Center, along with several local businesses.
Lacey Lammert made this.
Jenny Moore is the director of the Valentine Chamber of Commerce, which holds a competition every year to choose the town's official card.
Nobody gets mail anymore, so sending a personalized message and card is a lot more special than it used to be.
In addition to the cards, the Chamber is also hosting several events here in Valentine on Valentine's Day, including a heart-themed ball drop.
We will raise the ladder of a fire truck clear to the top, hoist a heart to signify Valentine's Day, and drop a bucket full of ping pong balls.
And for those looking to wear their hearts on their sleeves, literally,
they always go really quick.
A local business is showing some
This is actually our 4th year of doing our exclusive Valentine's Day shirt.
Broken Spoke Boutique ships these shirts, stickers, and postcards all over the country.
They're wanting to grab a Valentine's Day shirt, but have it from somewhere that's special, like Valentine, Nebraska.
Another beloved tradition, Cupid's mailbox, where hundreds of letters arrive each year just to receive Valentine's special postmark.
I've actually told people, if you get a card from me, I spent a lot of time and effort actually to pick that out to send it to you. And it's just probably one of the most sentimental things that you can do these days.
A love letter, sealed, stamped, and sent straight from the Heart City. In Valentine, Casey Wannenberg, News Channel, Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com. Click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.